Good morning, darlings.
I am Lily Laboratory. And how are you today? Today I'm going to talk about another famous mathematician and scientist. And his name you saw at the beginning of the program. His name was Galileo Galilei. But I'm going to call him Galileo, or Leo for short. Okay. This man was another really smart man, and he lived back in the 1500s. Galileo is really famous for a lot of things, and one, he's famous for the scientific method. But his most famous, probably his most famous discovery was that which he beat out Aristotle, and he said that the sun does not go around the earth goes around the sun. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about something else. Galileo lived in Italy in a little town called Pisa. Not really, called Pisa. Okay. And Galileo went to the top of the Pisa building called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Ta-da! Miss Lily drew a picture of it for you. You better say you like it, too. Anyway, Galileo went to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa because he wanted to show everybody that he had learned something about falling objects. Galileo decides he's going to go up to the top of the building. And there's this big fat head right there. See it? Okay. And here's one arm. Here's the other arm. And there's a big crowd of people down here. We're going to draw their little heads down here. And they were ready to boo him because they did not believe that Galileo knew what the heck he was talking about. He went up there with two different objects. Two balls, actually. One of them really, really heavy, and the one of them not so heavy. One weighed 10 times more than the other. So he goes up there with those two things, and he drops them down from the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Boy, must have hit somebody on the head. Not really. Anyway, Aristotle had said that these objects were going to fall one faster than the other. But Galileo didn't believe him, so he went up to prove it. And even though the most spectacular thing happened, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, nobody believed him. Okay, so Miss Lily decides she's going to go to the top, not of the Leaning Tower of Pisa because I canceled my reservations on the airplane. I went to the top of the house. So, stay glued to your seats because now I'm going to go to the top of a roof and I'm going to drop a bowling ball and a golf ball at the same time, hopefully, and you're going to see these two balls fall. Now, what do you think? You think the big one's going to fall faster? Well, that's what Galileo proved. So pay attention. Here we go.
Did you see that?
The bowling ball and the golf ball hit at the same time, or it's about as close as I could get it. Okay? Now you're going to say, but the bowling ball is so big, and the golf ball is so small. Well, what happened is Galileo really did not know why that big old bowling ball, or the big iron ball, fell at the same rate as the smaller ball. And it wasn't until Sir Isaac Newton was alive that he said, look, it's not just the weight of the ball, it's the mass of the ball too. Gravity has to pull on this ball real hard to make it fall. Gravity doesn't have to pull on this ball so hard. But the mass of this ball makes it sort of slow down a little bit, and this one, the mass of the ball is not as much. So gravity is really pulling harder, but the mass is so big of the bowling ball that it makes up for it because the golf ball now has gravity pulling on it, but the mass of the ball is so small that they equal out. It equals out. Sir Isaac Newton, his second law, said acceleration equals force, which is the weight of the ball, over the mass of the ball. Now, you don't have to understand that. But what you do need to understand is that Galileo said the two balls fall and hit the ground at the same time. Now, a really neat thing is, if you're on the moon, do the balls hit at the same time? They do, but they fall at 1/6 the rate. The acceleration is 1/6 that of on the Earth. Okay, now, a lot of you asked me why I did not dance the last time I was here. Okay, well, back by popular demand, I decided that I would do another little jig on the roof for you. Okay? So I'm going to close the show today with a little bit of a dance. But don't forget, Mr. Galileo, my friend, discovered that two balls that fall from the same distance will hit the ground, our Earth, at the same time. Okay, I'll see you next time on Lily Laboratory. Bye-bye.